Doug, I know that air is the critical item to make sure the organ works, and we're gonna go into the universal air chest, I understand right now, the Austin Universal Air Chest, which is a very unique part of an Austin organ. So we're gonna descend down underneath the pipes we just saw and go into one of the, what do you call it?
It's the universal air chest.
It's a room. It's an amazing room. So
it's a room where all the valves and mechanics that make the notes play happens, and it's pretty fascinating in this kind of an organ.
All right.
So if we come down there, watch your head.
Sure.
So the universal air chest is pretty cool. This is a pressurized room, but right now I can swing that door open, right? So we're going to go in there, but in order to get into the actual part where the mechanics are, you have to open this little pressurized door and let some air out. So I'll come in first, and we'll go into the one to the right when you get in here. At the same time?
Sure.
All right.
Perfect. Great. All right. So. Pretty big room. I almost can stand up in this here. So just walk us through what are the different components of this room, Doug, and what do we got here?
Basically, this whole room is pressurized. So when we came through there, our ears popped. So now you're in the pressurized area. And in order for a note to play, the organist has to press a key, which sends an electric signal over to one of these magnets right here, which would turn on a stop. Right? You turn on a stop here, and then you have a valve above here that would play when you play the action for the key. Right? So it's a matrix system turning on a stop and turning on the keys that run this way. And they all run on these little tiny armatures, which is a little metal disc. That little metal disc, when you play a key, gets pulled by these little electromagnets, and that opens up a little tiny channel right there, lets out a little bit of air, which lets this compress, which then makes the other stuff, the other valves compress, makes the stop turn on or makes the key play. And all of it happens through this relay system, which is state of the art, put in about 15 years ago, built by Classic. Foley Baker installed it, and works beautifully.
What's that big thing behind you here? What's this
good question.
wall here?
This is what regulates the air pressure in the room. So when you turn the organ on, there's a blower that blows air into here. And that air comes flowing in here, fills up this room, and it pushes on this reservoir. This regulating wall moves in and out as you play big notes, and lots of notes all at the same time. This wall moves back and forth. And the reason for that is pipes have to speak the same all the time. And if you change the wind pressure, you make it go up or down, that changes the pitch and the speech of the pipes. So the job of this regulating wall is to keep that wind pressure going up into the pipes absolutely steady.
So you have computer technology. There's a lot of electrician work that's involved here, obviously. Yeah. There's the craftsman work that I think of you folks, making all these different little parts, installing them, checking on them. There's an artistic part of this as well in terms of what stops are the right stops to have in an organ.
So you have the design factor of what kinds of pipes does this church need, or Sometimes these organs are in concert halls and they have different requirements. You've got obviously the electrical and computer-based technologies that work now. You have, winding. All these gray lines these are wind lines that go in and throughout the whole organ. So you have what used to call them tin knockers, would make these lines up, and then you've got the artistry of making reservoirs that hold air and don't leak and regulate properly. So it's really the pipe organ industry is an amalgam of all the trades over thousands of years coming together to produce something for the sole purpose of making something sound beautiful and playing music. So pretty amazing stuff.
I think our next part of this, I think we're going to go take a walk downstairs to the basement and see what the blower looks like and what the blower room is, because without the blower, there's no air coming up and there's no organ music.
Correct.
So we will exit this part of this little tour and be back with you in a moment.